you've understood too much and now you want to understand no more. The black pill. It's like your brain gets full. And it isn't full from good and yummy knowledge. It's full from knowing too much. It's knowing things that you don't want to know. Where you're to the point where, maybe I should unlearn some things. Can you plug me in back to the Matrix? Can I go back to being a blue pill? Wait a minute. After I take the red pill, I can't be plugged into the blue pill? This is why it's women, ladies, beta males. Don't feel bad about swallowing too many red pills. Because 3 red pills is default black pill. 3 red pills is you're borderline a conspiracy theorist. And not to say that all the conspiracy theories have all come true, because they kind of have. Which is where when you see information that's actionable, when you see information that is, I learned about this, now I can improve. I learned about working on a car. This gets me excited about working to fix my friend's car. Or, hey, you have the same problem that I had. Now I can fix your problem. Hey, what experience do you have fixing the problem? Oh, well, my dad had the same car. My relative had the same car. And that's when someone says, hey, have you thought about uploading a YouTube video? And then you're like, I don't know. I'm kind of shy. Roser, what's going on? We're talking about women, ladies, beta males. Let's try to avoid the black pill. What's a black pill, Larry? What's a black pill? A black pill is when you've taken a red pill and then you take another red pill and then now you're a conspiracy theorist, full blown. You start seeing everything. Some people call it the great noticing. God from heaven has said, hello friend, how are you doing today? IZ says hi. Rosar, T2M, what's up? Because what we're looking at with the red pill is, when was the first topic that you noticed that you said, there's no way that could be true, and then it became true? Have you had a topic that's been like that before? For example, dogs. Dogs are too much work. Dogs are too much work. There's no way I could take care of a dog. There's no way I could take care of a dog. And then you realize, oh my God, taking care of a dog is just not even an hour a day. And the joy that it brings you is 15 hours per day. That's a pretty good return on investment. Where people that don't have a dog or a small, cool little dog, they'll say, oh, having a dog is terrible. It's a lot of responsibility. And you're like, it's more responsibility than you have. That would be an example of a red pill truth. Thank you for thinking my dog is cute. Ooh, here's another one. Red pill, where people and their water consumption. It is incredibly blue pill to try to tell people that that you're drinking too much water. What? What? It's incredibly red pill. It's incredibly blue pill to tell people, not everything is a conspiracy theory. The reason that people say that, where they're convincing you to take the blue pill as in red, white, and blue pill, is the blue pill is a cognitive miser. The blue pill is, I don't want to spend the 55 hours required to understand Bitcoin. I don't want to spend the 20 hours required to understand GameStop or AMC. How's my sound? Is my sound okay? Olive oil breadsticks. I love olive oil breadsticks. That's another one. That's another one. That's another one. Where olives in bread. Have you ever bought a loaf of bread that's got olives in it? That's like olive oil breadsticks, where olive oil bread, that's a thing. It is the most fragrant and delicious. You add a little bit of rosemary, delicious. Red pill. It is incredibly red pill to do what? To avoid doing research. It is incredibly red pill also to then turn into a black pill, which is my notes for today, which is this video. Which is this video for not getting demoralized, as we avoid the black pill. So look at how many people are demoralized. Oh, you like my hat? Thank you. I got it on Amazon for less than $60. Black pill. What the black pill, okay, it's for when people get demoralized. I'm going to stay on topic now. Black pill. Black pill is where a person doesn't get up in the morning. Black pill. It's where they have no zest for life. Black pill. It affects beta males, women, and ladies differently. Why? Because it's so easy to see something that's not good. It's so easy to unsubscribe. It's so easy to catch yourself trying to procrastinate and save energy. Why? Because you're trying to mitigate, you're trying to avoid. That's what the black pill does. Is it makes you want to crawl into a hole and not address the issues going on in the world. Black pill. Black pill. Thinking that you can vote your way out of this. Vote like a democratic vote. Because once you realize, oh my God, you can't vote your way out of this, now you're even more demoralized. But here's a video that talks about the solutions to this issue, which is Atlantic can go to hell. It's a woke mind virus and a giant piece of propaganda. That's how most people feel that YouTube is. That's how most people feel about social media, which is the Atlantic magazine. The Atlantic magazine, it can go to hell. It's a woke mind virus and a giant piece of propaganda. And so instead of saying, oh, it's amazing to run an external API to fix the LGBTQ TT plus community, that's where we can run an external API to fix the LGBTQ TT community, which is when woke goes bankrupt and broke, can you fix it? Because welcome, the Democratic Socialist. Welcome. The three laws of thermodynamics, they're going to be affecting all of us. What are the three laws of thermodynamics? It's realizing that no matter what the governing body is, someone's still going to need to parlay the sun's energy into chemical potential energy for our body. Ooh, embracing bankruptcy and then fixing it. So, not to explain to you and red pill you from a blue pill standpoint, from a Democrat socialist standpoint, but embracing the fact that that is a construct meant to bankrupt people and make things cheaper to buy. What, are you no longer here anymore? That's okay. I mean, that's not okay. Because, hey, why is Dem Soc, why was that not a movement, but why is that a corner theory? Like, who came up with that? It's the same people who came up with, hey, this forest would be cheaper if I first got rid of the trees. This land would be cheaper if the house got burned down. This land in Hawaii, it would be cheaper if the houses that surrounded it got burnt down to the ground. Because guess what? They're not making any more land. Therefore, the land's going to be cheaper after the house and houses burn down. That's the black pill, where you're like, what? Someone wants to buy my land, so they're going to burn my house down? That's not fair. That's totally not fair. And then you commiserate with the people in Lahaina or Pacific Palisades or Patagonia. But here's what we can benefit from is our Dem socialist friend who just got deleted. They're saying things to get reactions, meaning this. They didn't have a brain to change their mind. They were just going to say anything. Here's another example. I mean, it's kind of funny. I mean, it's sad, but it's also kind of funny. I mean, that's similar to business model, because that's an ass model, a model for ass, where, hey, Larry, I'm straight, and then after 10 p.m., I'm not. Yo, what's going on? How do I pronounce your username? DriveCrowlow2883. That's almost my phone number. What's going on? Tell me something in the background so that way I know that certain people aren't a robot. Dark-eyed lowlander. Tell me something that you see in the background so that way I know that you're not a robot. We're talking about black pill and how black pill affects. We're talking about how black pill affects. We're talking about how black pill. We're talking about black pill. It affects certain portions of our society differently. What do you see in the background? What do you see in the background? Black pill. Ooh. Here's a quote that is very black pill. Very funny question. I will pin it as I come back to it. I will pin it as I come back to it. Here's a quote direct from a black pill, black pill, which is this. Atlantic magazine can go to hell. It's a woke mind virus and a giant piece of propaganda. There's a business model in WOKE, which is this. Hi, by the way, I'm Larry Chang. My channel's on what they don't teach you in school. This is how to avoid the black pill. With a quote that someone who swallowed the black pill, this is what they said. Atlantic can go to hell. It's a woke mind virus and a giant piece of propaganda. So the business model of trying to get people to get woke and then go bankrupt, the business model is driving you towards a bankruptcy. That's why black pill is the default. That's why you get demoralized when you read social media, is because they're trying to get you to swallow a black pill. This is a psychological operation. This is the countermeasure to that psychological operation, which is 1, my channel is on basically just staying positive. 2, it's understanding how the world works while also understanding that we can take a small amount of action to positively affect our own life. 2, it's realizing that blue pill, red pill, black pill, and orange pill are very little understood. So let me give you this knowledge so that way you can say, hey, I met Larry Chang. His channel is okay. My other episodes, which drop on Tuesdays, are things I used to think. And then once a month, I'll do a video series on funny stuff I saw doom scrolling. That's straight stand-up comedy. My brand of comedy is 100.0% truths delivered in a entertaining way. 100.0% truths. So I won't tell you a joke just to make you laugh that's only 90% true. Before I promised orange pill, black pill, red pill, blue pill. These are the pills. This is the benefit. And this is all the value of this video, by the way. So from the Matrix, it was blue pill, red pill. And people wanted to see the construct that was outside of a software program. A software program, which is not, oh, I'm just talking but not saying anything. This is going to be the most significant thing that will be presented on the internet in 2026. Let's go. Which is Matrix, red pill, blue pill. People get that. I'm not going to readdress it. The blue pill is the addendum to it is a blue pill is actually possible, which I will show you within 5 minutes. which is it's possible to be blue pill again, where you're back to being fat, dumb, and happy, but just not fat and just not dumb, where you're just happy, which is this. Which is this. Caught you. I caught you. I caught you on your 13th username. I can just read. I can just read until you're on your 13th username because the words that you select give away the fact that you're on your 13th username. Red pill. That's when you find out, oh, I didn't know to graduate from a public university, you could enter with college credits that you earn from community college classes that you don't even need to take. That's something that's incredibly red pill. Another red pill truth is, oh, I didn't know that when you file taxes, if you use a tax preparation service, your likelihood of an audit drops dramatically. Red pill. This is black pill, is where you say, oh my God, I had no idea that pedophiliacs run this country. And then you're like, oh, I didn't know that the money was completely fake. What? And then you're like, I don't want to go to work and pay 60% in taxes. I don't want to start a company where I hire employees. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to be a venture capitalist private equity guy, and the only kind of tax I'm ever going to pay are capital gains taxes. That's red pill, borderline black pill. This is avoiding the black pill, which is where, oh, I didn't know that the divorce rate was actually 70% and that men lose half their stack. This is the black pill, and then now you're so immersed in the black pill that you don't even have the sex drive to open up your dating app to even look at your connections. Because you're just like, aw, sour grapes. Aw, more grapes that are sour. Like, I've tasted those grapes. They're actually pretty sweet. Maybe because they're genetically modified, but guess what? I don't think the genetically modified grapes are going to be the ones giving me cancer. Because when I do get a cancer diagnosis in the year 2122, I'm going to stand up on the doctor's table and say, ha ha, I understand how chemo works. I'm going to meditate my temporary abnormality away. Joe Dispenza. It's a $9 book. It's $0 if you read it at the library. It's $9 if you buy it used. Brand new paperback, that book, Becoming Supernatural, is $12. He's the guy who meditated away back surgery. Let me repeat that. He got hit by a Jeep truck. He got hit literally by a truck that's a Jeep. He literally got hit by a truck that's a Jeep. He got hit by a Jeep. Not a Jeep. Not a Jeep. He got hit by a Jeep. He got hit by a Jeep. It almost sounds like an ethnic slur. You got hit by a Jeep. Actually, I think it was a Jeep driving a Jeep. So he broke his back. So he's Joe Dispenza. Joe Dispenza. He's driving his bicycle. He's riding his bicycle. And then he gets hit and he breaks his back. Exactly. He can't drive. So then he drives into Joe Dispenza. And then Joe Dispenza, he breaks his back in like 4 places. That's not even funny that you finally bought the book. Because the red pill isn't, oh, I tried to swallow it, Larry. Oh, I tried to swallow it. Oh, I tried to swallow it. Oh, I didn't swallow it yet. Oh, wait, let me check. Nope, I still can't swallow. Oh, it's so big, I can't swallow it. Oh, you know what? You know what? It's actually pretty yummy. I am going to swallow it. That's you. That's you. It took you forever. But that's not this video. This video is not swallowing. So what to swallow and what not to swallow, which is Joe Dispenza. So he's literally getting ready to have back surgery. And what I know and Steve Kerr knows and Joe Dispenza knows, and this is a red pill truth, which is we never get back surgery. Let me repeat that. We never get back surgery. Because guess what happens after back surgery? You're going to need more back surgery. And then the back surgeries, it kind of just makes it worse. I don't want to be the one telling you this because you sound insane. But this is not insane. This is the red pill. Oh my God, I'm wearing the perfect shirt for the red pill. Which is a Jeep, use it in a Jeep, just ran over your back. And now your back's broken. This is what Joe Dispenza did to heal his back. He put a picture of a perfect back. He put a picture of his back, his future back. So he, in essence, healed his own back by asking himself, okay, today my back's broken. Today my back is broken. This is how I need to fix my back. This is how I need to fix my back. This is how I need to fix my back. Thank you for the racist jokes. Thank you for the racist jokes. Thank you for the Chinese food jokes. Oxtail soup in an Instapot. It absolutely does heal your back because of cartilage. And you mentioned oxtail soup. That's what I dropped off for Steve Kerr, Kerr, Steve, because he had back surgery, and then he was giving an interview in a hot tub because hot water reduces the inflammation and the grinding of the cartilage. Because the radio interview was like, why do I hear water? Are you in a tub right now? This is Damon Bruce. And Steve Kerr says, yeah, Damon Bruce, I'm in a hot tub right now. And then he's like, well, why? Oh, I'm recovering from back surgery. And for those of you listening, never get back surgery. He basically said that. People told me to not get back surgery. I got back surgery. And I dropped off in his Four Seasons Hotel, 2050 University Avenue, or 757 Market, or 1435 Brickell, or 101 King Street. I will not tell you which Four Seasons I dropped it off at, but it's one of those 4 addresses. So I dropped him oxtail soup. All you need to do is just press the warm button, and then the oxtail soup gets warmed up. I don't need you to drop off a DoorDash, okay? That food's going to get old. I don't want to eat DoorDash food in 6 hours. But that oxtail soup sitting in an Instapot, who got you this? He's a Chinese cowboy. Oh, you mean Larry Chang? Is he about like this tall? Yeah, he's surprisingly tall. Oh, when did he do this? He dropped it off, I want to say 8 hours ago. Well, why is it hot? Who brought it into my room? That would be the general manager or the landlord. I'm not sure which. Oh, so he didn't go in my room? Because I was worried that he was going to go in my room. He wasn't in my room, was he? Because all he's going to do is just rifle through my notebook and then write a bunch of Larry Chang stuff about orange pill, black pill, red pill, blue pill. And I'm going to say, that's not my handwriting. That's not my handwriting. What else did you write on in my room? Or writing on the bathroom window, the bathroom mirror. That's the creepiest kind of writing, where you're popping a quick shower, the steam's everywhere, and then you step out and you're naked because some people still shower in their hotel room naked. which I don't recommend anybody shower in an Airbnb naked. I shower in a bathing suit in my Airbnb. Why? That's why my Airbnb didn't cost $2,000 a night. There's a reason it's only $600. It's because they want naked pictures of me naked. That's why I shower literally in a bathing suit. And then I take my bathing suit off with a towel and I pretend like I'm showering at Bondi Beach. That's in Australia. So when you're dropping off oxtail soup, I'm showing you the orange pill. Okay. So that's how to drop off food for an alpha male by never going in his room. Because he's going to be wondering, what the F was Larry doing in my hotel room? And then they're going to say, well, no, Larry wasn't in your room. And then you're like, well, who plugged in my Instapot of oxtail soup? And then they're going to be like, the general manager did. The general manager did. And then they'll be like, well, how did Larry get the general manager to do it? Well, don't you need oxtail soup? And then the argument dies. Because one, it would be very much like Larry Chang to get the general manager to plug it in. You just plug it in, okay? It's not going to explode. It's an Instapot. It's not a hot plate with an automatic turn-off switch. It's an Instapot, okay? By design, they don't explode. To Instapot's own detriment. Okay, black pill. You're using back surgery to exemplify that there is knowledge that is in existence that other people have that you don't have. There is knowledge that other people have that you are short on. Meaning other people have more knowledge and more practice executing on that knowledge. You don't have that yet. The other thing you also don't want to do is you don't want to be like num 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 num, red pill, red pill, red pill, red pill, red pill, red pill. You don't want to just be like num 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 num. So you can joke about being centered on Tiananmen Square in Beijing, but guess what? Your government is 80% pedo. 80% pedo. P-E-D-O. That's your government. Whereas, like, Tiananmen Square was what? Like, 100 years ago. Okay? Like, look at your literal Congress. Look at your literal government. Do you know about Vietnam? Do you know about Ukraine? Do you know even about Afghanistan? Oh, you don't even know about World War II or World War I. How about the Titanic? Do you know about the Titanic? Zero. Oh, Tiananmen Square. Like 13 Chinese people died. Look at Minnesota. Look at Minnesota. It is a dumpster fire. It is a fire in a dumpster. To the point where the NBA can't even play there anymore. You know you're too woke when the NBA can't even execute a game. But that's okay, because remember, this video is exactly for you, because it's women, ladies, and beta males no longer swallowing the black pill. Because what you said was, I'm blue pill. You said that you're blue pill because you said an ancient Chinese mistake, which is who has more representation? An elected republic, which is what the United States is, or a communist regime? Oh, I am the number one most American in America right now. because I'm asking some pretty basic questions, which is, why is the money so corrupt? Okay, so in America, if you steal $2 billion, you don't get the electric chair. In China, if you steal, like, if you hurt a little kid, somebody just puts a gun to your head. That's why pedophilia isn't a problem. You can be as angry as you want. You can be as angry as you want. You're just angry that you're black and I'm Caucasian. That's what you are. That's what you are. That's what you are. You're angry that you're not. You're angry. You're an angry black person pretending to be Caucasian. Look at you. Busted. Busted. I knew it. Your first video. First video. Nice. Are you a black person pretending to be a white person? That's even better. You're a black person pretending to be a white person. I am a white person explaining to you how things work. And you're like, oh, he's more Caucasian than I am. He's more Caucasian than I am. Okay, here's a question for you. You hurt two people that are under 25 years old, half-half. In a certain country, they just put a gun to your head and say, what were you doing? What were you doing? You can't even get, this is perfect. You're getting it wrong. Look at the language. When you plug my transcript into 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl, do you not see that this is the 55 days of Gemini 3? So 55 days is like the 12 days of Christmas. A Jewish guy came up with that, called the 12 days of OpenAI. I am also Jewish. I am everything, and I'm also nothing. The 12 days of OpenAI. I came up with the 23 days of OpenAI. And then I came up with the 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. This is more orange pill. Thank you for letting me prove my point. Because what is the orange pill? Nobody ever talks about the orange pill. I'm telling you to take a double orange pill so that way you can be blue pill. Why? Because I am actually more black than you are. You haven't seen me play basketball yet. I play basketball like I'm blue pill. Why? Because, hey, do you have an honorary black person on your board of directors? Hey, do you have your quota filled? Because I'm not quite sure if your quota got filled yet. I'm not quite sure. I love that orange chicken. You Chinese people, you make the best food. This is red pill. You see, in China, they don't call it, let's go out for Chinese food. They call it, let's go out for the food that they've been making for 7,000 years. That's why that food tastes good. Whereas some food that some French person came up with, that's food that is cooked with rotten meat. And don't even get me started on eating animals, because when you're starved, which America, you're going to get ready to starve, because this is going to be your first hyperinflation. We're not even at hyperinflation yet. We're at moderate inflation, where the government's lying to you that it's 2%. The inflation rate's actually 8%. Enjoy 80% inflation. That's what's coming. It's called gradually and then suddenly. Is that a Parker Lewis, Peter Parker book written by a 5'2" Caucasian guy? He's like about right here. Like if he were to like nod his head, my giant penis would hit him in the head. Parker Lewis. Gradually and then suddenly. This is my brain. It just spools up a concoction, a perfect cocktail. Cheers to cocktails. This is why my bread slicer is my dating app. Larry, Larry, why is a bread slicer a dating app? Because you said Tiananmen Square and you didn't even look at the problems in my government. Because JD Vance, he didn't exist 8 years ago. 8 years ago, there was no such person named JD Vance. He waited 28 years to then become a brand new person. Is that a indoctrination in homosexuality within the pedo government? Right by the book, because he's being mentored by a neurodivergent who's homosexual. Peter Thiel, Thiel. This is Larry Chang telling you, I mentored Peter Thiel. I can guess where this whole thing's going. And it's both really good and really bad. That's the black pill. Is there's no such person as JD Vance. And don't get me started on Nick Fuentes, because he's trying to get you to swallow a black pill. This is Larry Chang on a double orange pill. What's a double orange pill? This is all the value of this video, which is a double orange pill is basically a blue pill. It's just that you're pretending to only be blue pill. Remember, you said Tiananmen Square, while literally I looked up your congressman. Your congressman is currently sleeping with a little kid right now. And that to me is gross. Where if Larry Chang were president, that would be a death penalty offense, because President Chang, he DGAF. Look at me. Look at how enthused I am about a viewership with 7 people who can't even focus their attention. Oh my God. Blue pill, blue pill. It's very blue pill to doom scroll. It's very blue pill to not hold attention. Remember, Atlantic can go to hell. It's a woke mind virus and a giant piece of propaganda. Here's the problem if you don't gin out propaganda, is that you get sequestered, you get squashed, you get demeaned, you get demonetized, you get demonized, you get suppressed. Look at my talent level. Look at my talent level. Look at my prior talent level. I've had the same talent level since college. College was not recent. Yet why is my content getting suppressed as much as it is? Why? Is it because Susan Wojciechowski ended up not listening to me and then accidentally passing away? She's the CEO of YouTube. Yes. Do you see why we should drop a quick prayer for Susan, because she's a collateral damage of the tribe. Father Lord, please watch over Susan Wojciechowski and don't have her regret being in hell probably for not listening to Larry Chang. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Booyah. That just happened. That just happened. Double orange pill. So that's optimum. What is one orange pill? One orange pill is to realize the only thing that matters are the 3 laws of thermodynamics. Those are the only thing that matter. Why is a slice of bread your dating app? Because during hyperinflation, people starve. People will do anything for a slice of bread. Why are people starving, Larry? That sounds impossible. Well, this is what happens, is you start to write laws that say, you have to maximize a loaf of bread can only cost $700. A loaf of bread can't cost more than $700. And then the people who make the loaves of bread say, well, each loaf of bread costs me almost $800 to make. And you're like, well, I don't care how much it costs for you to make. You're by law $700. That's the maximum price per loaf of bread. And then you're like, look, I'm showing you my expenses. And they're like, okay, $1,100. That's the maximum that you can charge. But remember, it's 200% inflation per day. If you don't know what hyperinflation is, crack open a book. Crack open a book. This is every time, 100% of the time. Let me repeat that. It's hyperinflation 100% of the time, 100% of the time. And that's why this video is hilarious. So, $1,100 maximum. Now people will not make bread, and the government decides to take over your bakery. Guess what? The government worker, they're not going to be making bread at $1,100 when they take it over. They're going to be making bread like a retard. Have you noticed when retards take over, it gets worse? Guess what happens when the retarded person who's never baked, guess what happens? Bread goes to $3,000. This is the entire continent of Africa with price controls. This is why black people have never been able to invent anything, because they're just like, let's write a law that bans being retarded. Let's lower the SAT score. Let's try to fix it with a law. Look at San Francisco, where they try to write a law saying people that are good at math don't get to be good at math. Did that help the dumb people get smarter? That's why Democrat Socialist was amazing. You get to be a moderator. There you go. Right there on the pin message. There you go. So the reason for the mayhem, the reason for the fact that, hey, 50 to 80% of the elected officials are pedophiles is to demoralize people into going bankrupt. When you force a bankruptcy, you buy things for a nickel on the dollar. This is also you understanding everything about everything, which is, why did the houses burn down in the Pacific Palisades? Who financially benefited? Well, that would be the people who buy your land for 5 cents on the dollar. Who benefits from Lahaina when all those houses in Hawaii burn down? That would be the people who are going to take over the land. Why do you burn down the Patagonia forest? Oh, because then the land is cheaper. So that's red pill. What is orange pill? Orange pill is realizing there are the 3 laws of thermodynamics, because you don't need to have a pedophile. Literally, Scott Bessent, Scott like a gay guy, Bessent like the gay Treasury Secretary. He's admittedly pansexual, neurodivergent as a Treasury Secretary. Now you understand why Larry Chang is not the Treasury Secretary, because I'm the opposite of pansexual, I'm the opposite of neurodivergent, and because I won't sleep with a little kid, I'm going to adjust my age range higher to be older than 22, younger than 24. That's adjusted upwards because of the recent mayhem. The 3 laws of thermodynamics are these. Those are the rules for money. We don't need rulers. Now you understand why the Titanic crashed. Now you understand why the Titanic crashed. I will not say cheers to that. The Titanic crashed because the United States didn't have a central bank. No central bank. That's why Washington, Jefferson, Hamilton, no central bank. What stage are we at right now, Larry? The stage that we're at right now, which is very red pill and orange pill, is the economic hitman. He's come home. The economic hitman, he's come home. What's the economic hitman? What's the economic hitman? What's the economic hitman? The economic hitman is a person who comes into your country and just decimates you. It's called Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It's called Confessions of an Economic Hitman. When central bank and treasury merge, the citizens get fucked. Let me repeat that. You, the U.S. citizen, you get fucked when the central bank merges with the treasury. Why? Those two entities should be at odds with each other. When they merge, the citizens get fucked 100.0% of the time. Not about 90. Kind of like Larry Chang humor. It's funny half the time, but it's true 100.0% of the time. Let me repeat the math on that because we're all going to need to be proficient at arithmetic. Not proficient at math because Jesus Christ forbid that you actually study math class before math class, which, by the way, that's a guaranteed way to get into Stanford, is you take math class before math class, you take entrepreneurship class before entrepreneurship class, and then you play two pro sports as a 6'5" Chinese person, and you're Caucasian. So, Caucasian people, we got it so bad. Yeah, well, what you do is you put a Wang or a Hang or a Chang or a Tang at the end of your Caucasian name. Now you understand that colleges are closed. They're closed. All the retarded Mexican black people and goblins, like all the retarded goblins that get into college before you. Which is the orange pill, which is us doing what? We're realizing that if we take math class before math class, we're studying the Roman Empire before it falls, because this is ladies, women, and beta males never really understanding how the black pill or the red pill work. Let me go over that again. So beta males, very blue pill. Look, there's a Larry, I'm God from heaven 25-25. I'm a Democrat socialist. That's a guaranteed awful, which is an affluent, white, female, urban liberal. That's an awful. That's an awful. So when you're an awful and you're... That's not funny. There's no green pill. That's not funny. That's not funny. I'll be the one telling jokes here, and I'll be the one being retarded here. So when you're back, less retarded when you're back. Okay, so that's you. So that's you not wanting to hear orange pill, black pill, red pill. That's you. Oh, you just got here. I want to make you a moderator. because the orange pill and a double orange pill, they'll help you be a blue pill. Because I've got a question for you. Why won't you ever think about the Weimar Republic or the Roman Empire or the crumbling US Empire? Why? Because you're kind of hoping that you don't want to know. You're kind of hoping that you're not you don't know what you don't know. You don't want to know. That's pretty funny. I'm not retarded. Mom said I'm special. Oh, there you go. 1984. Because I'm from the British Empire. One, Britain. It's not an empire. I have 3 countries on my watch list, which, congratulations, you've discovered the most valuable video on YouTube, which is the British Empire. It is hardly an empire. 1984, it's not meant to be a playbook, which is ruling out truth and ruling like you're in a book called 1984. England, it's a dumpster fire. There are 3 countries I'm actively watching for an imminent collapse. Why? There's this theorem, hard M at the end, not a theory, a theorem. And that is this. And that is this. I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful. I don't get a giant crowd around me because people love this shit. I gotta be careful. Okay. Okay. 1984. I got 3 countries on my watch list because you're going to hear me tell you this on February 7. You're going to hear me tell you this on February 7. Today's February 7. And it's going to happen before February 14, 2027. Super Bowl to Super Bowl. That's also incredibly double orange pill, which is you should get a free vacation to Los Angeles February 14, 2027, and another free vacation February 2028, because 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. Next year, it's going to be 54 days of Gemini 3 at LA Super Bowl. And then next year, next year, it's going to be hashtag 53 days of Gemini 3 at Atlanta Super Bowl. Think of this as the 12 days of Christmas where Cousin Larry is giving you a motherfucking free fucking vacation. You just need to get pen and paper. You just need to get pen and paper. You just need to get pen and paper, baby. Pen and paper. Pen and paper. Double orange pill. So what you're getting, this is what you're getting. You're getting the Weimar Republic. What you're getting is Roman Empire vibes. What you're getting is, I have no idea what you're talking about. Bro, I'm game, but they have all the nights to go to prison to complain about social media. So this is 3 countries. UK, it's not a British Empire anymore. It's all Muslim people. And have you seen those girls that carry around like 2 hammers? It's like a hammer and sickle, but not Russia. It's a girl carrying around 2 hammers, so that way if some Indian Pakistani person who immigrated is trying to kill him or trying to, do worse than kill him, like they have a self-defense. Three countries: Canada, Australia, UK. Why? Because the dollar milkshake theory, it's no longer a theory anymore, it's a theorem. What is the dollar milkshake theory? The dollar milkshake theory goes like this. Remember, this is double orange pill. This is realizing, hey, Bitcoin's going to both simultaneously hit $25,000 and $25 million. That's why it's so volatile. Why? Because Canada, UK, and Australia. Why are those countries on my watch list? What happens in America, which is going to happen, which is hyperinflation, it's going to happen in those three countries first. Why? Because they're so dollar dependent. They speak English, they are English because they're England. They're basically America, but 17 times more woke and 17 times more illiquid. Why? Because you can't, because you can't. I look like I washed up. Thank you. I try to take a shower every day. Because Canada and Australia, all of their debt is dollar denominated. All of their debt is dollar denominated. When all of your debt is US dollar denominated, you get screwed when the United States prints more money. So let's say United States is going to double the amount of money that gets printed, which it's pretty much doing every other month. Who gets screwed? All the countries that owe their money in dollars. Why? No, that's not true. So this is where your blue pill, like Brazil, Russia, China, you don't even know what the I stands for because who even cares about India? Like you're hoping for BRICS to save you, and nothing's coming to save you. Because guess what? There's kind of a lot of pedos in that I. That I is. Have you seen why? Have you seen why first cousins get married? Have you seen that? Have you seen the whole like having a little kid ride with you? That's not an assistant. That's like a dark, like that's like look it up. Look it up. It's not good. So when you say BRICS, the reason I care zero about other countries, but I'm just telling you those three countries, they're gonna collapse, and I called it. Why? You see, Canada, UK, Australia, they're dollar dependent. They're like that shitty restaurant. You have a celebrity. You have a celebrity in your midst. You have a celebrity in your midst. You have a celebrity in your midst. Of the 5 people watching this, there is a massive celebrity that is using a username. This is a brand name person. They just texted me going, your live stream giving me, let's just say giving me encouragement. Canada, Australia, UK. Have you been to those crappy restaurants that serve you faker and faker and faker food? Waiting for the system to collapse. So you guys are sort of asking the right questions. When do you think they will stop printing paper money? It's called Nothing Stops This Train. That's what you don't get because you haven't cracked a book open about F.A. Hayek. You don't get that that's the end of Keynesian. Every Keynesian system, so Keynes, John Maynard Keynes, it default goes into communism. This is why we in the tribe get blamed. Where stop calling us a wall hugger. This is just not our first default, meaning it's not our first recognition of the fact that the money's dying. This is why Jewish people get blamed, because it's a tribal people who have seen countries rise and fall without a country. So you've got to be able to really call, hey, this country's about to hit the shitter. Let's get the fuck out. It's the rats leaving the ship. So the dollar printing, the printing, like there's no escaping it. This is why people say you can't vote your way out of this. This is why people say this. And then that's also why people say it's not a two-party system, it's the uniparty system, UNI, one party, the uniparty. Why? Because both parties basically have to act the same. Why? Because Treasury and central bank merged. Okay, set all that aside for a minute. And let's kind of reset the room because there's some new people here. I'm Larry Chang. My channel's on what they don't teach you in school. This is a video about how to not be black-pilled, because what I just rifled through was about 270 red pills. 270, maybe 109 red pills. That's not true. Inflation is not necessary. Inflation does not promote innovation. Innovation and tech innovation is inherently deflationary. And what this is a test. It's a test for not the emergency broadcast system. This is a test for, do you want to get mega rich? Follow me with double orange pill. Because thinking that inflation is necessary, that's a Keynesian lie. Because inflation does not promote innovation. Innovation is inherently deflationary. You're mixing up Keynes with Hayek, Hayek, F.A. Hayek, Frederick A. Hayek. The reason that Hayek wasn't promoted by economic political types is because F.A. Hayek talked about smaller government. And I don't mean to be laughing at you guys, because I'm laughing at my future jokes. I'm not laughing at you guys. I'm showing you free money on the other side of this. I understand, sir. Cool. Welcome from BRICS. BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and some other S country that doesn't even fucking matter. And here's why the Chinese yuan will never be the reserve currency. Because Chinese people, they don't want to lend black people money ever. Whereas look at every other, they love lending money to black people. Love it. Love it. They love that. They love that. Ooh. Blue pill coming in. Isn't inflation irrelevant? It feels like even when stuff's inflated, it just makes numbers bigger, but the value really doesn't change or feel like it. Here's the problem, is you can't save money. Look at the entire continent of Africa. Not to be slamming black people, but we're slamming black people. Why can't that continent ever invent something? Why are the number of inventions coming off that continent 0? That's because they never have to plan for winter. Why is the SAT score so low? Why is the IQ so low? It's because that's what happens when you're rich. Because if you're starved, you just go pick a mango off the tree and you never have to worry about winter. Why are white people like me rocking an IQ of 488? Because winter is going to cause me to say, hey, do I have enough dog food saved up? Winter, hey, I got to play basketball outside. I do have to play basketball outside. That's what makes me great, is I'm going to play basketball outside during winter. What makes me a genius is in college, I got to ride a motor scooter in the ice and snow. That's like trying to bike. that's trying to bike to engineering classes, and now I got to figure out where to park. I'm not going to park my motor scooter outside. Now I've got to calculate temperature. Now I've got to calculate a parking space. Now I've got to lobby a retard to say, hey, can you open up your garage? Because I'm going to park my motor scooter inside. What? You're going to scooter here? Yeah, because I'm going to be rolling women on the back of my motor scooter. That would be the heterosexual behavior of, would you like to ride my motor scooter because this this penis this penis this penis this penis, it's not going to blow itself. And then coming up with the GSB, the Goyam School of Business. Larry, what's the Goyam School of Business? Well, the Goyam School of Business is when we live at the Jew of I, the Jew of I. It's kind of like the U of I, but for Jews. I ran the Jew of I. Larry, I think I know who you are. Are you the alpha male at the Silicon Valley Gay Mafia? Yes, absolutely yes. Larry, you ran the Silicon Valley Gay Mafia as a gay person? Do I look fucking gay to you? I could, which I haven't. I could literally fuck 40 dudes and I would still be not gay, which is how straight I am. And no, I've never had sex with a dude before, but this is what I told the Silicon Valley Gay Mafia, which was red pill. How do you know you're gay? Oh, lie. Oh, I've always been attracted to men. I'm like, what? What? Yeah, ever since I was a kid, I was attracted to men. I'm like, that's not, because I reached sexual maturity when I was 11. Like, when I was 11, I was attracted to girls that were 13. I wasn't attracted to women. I mean, maybe when I was like 11 and a half, I was interested in a 20-year-old. Well, that's a different story for a different time. But like when I'm 8, I'm not attracted to like a 35-year-old woman. I'm attracted to my 12-year-old babysitter. Like, she's a girl. And then once gay dudes lie to me, I'm like, you're a gay dude telling me lies, aren't you? And they're like, oh my God, Larry, you're a fucking genius. How did I first discover it? So me and Elon Musk are actually Eskimo brothers. So I'm with a hot girl, and she later is like, oh yeah, like, who's your last boyfriend? She's like, Elon Musk. And then she goes, you guys should meet. You guys should definitely meet. You guys would get along. I'm like, okay. So then before I meet Elon Musk, I have to meet one of her gay best friends. So we're eating brunch at Neiman Marcus in the Rotunda, and then he's starting to like sell me on the fact that he's gay. I'm like, why is this dude selling me on the fact that he's gay? I don't get it. And then I put it together. I'm like, this person's not actually gay. And then I said to him, are you sure you're gay? Because you just leaked out that you don't want to be gay, and yet you're not gay. 5 months later, he confesses to, we'll call her Kate because that was her name. Kate's my Eskimo connection to Elon Musk. Kate goes, oh, my gay friend that you met, he told me that his therapist also thinks that he's not gay. Fast forward, this is the blue pill. This is the blue pill, which is, oh, people are born that way. Oh no, they're made that way because of force. Like, it's called a bull queer. And this is what I half learned watching Shawshank Redemption. It's a bull queer. It's a queer that's a bull. And it turns out there's no such thing as a non-homosexual that is a bull queer. They're all bull queer. Is this crazy shit? Get me on Tucker Carlson. Why am I not? Why am I not on Tucker Carlson dropping this genius shit? Why? 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 I am paying 40% commissions. I'm paying 40% commissions for you to book me on a podcast with a six-figure appearance fee. Look at me. I'm camera ready. Look at me. You already know what I'm going to wear. Look at me. I'm going to bring the dog. I'm going to have green tea that I bring because I don't trust anybody to like feed me drinks. I don't trust anybody. I don't want your free water. I don't want your free drinks, okay? And I definitely don't want your free food, which is why I'm going to be bringing my own refreshments. This is your financial opportunity. Think about the genius shit that I'm telling you and financially benefit from it. Call up Joe Rogan and say, "Hey, look, for a 5-figure appearance fee, in fact, you get me on Joe Rogan, I'll get you middle 5 figures. I'll get you middle 5 figures. Why? Because I'm going to be selling the Dan Olson book." Larry, what's a Dan Olson book? 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 You see, that book is $20. That book is $20. Grab a pen. It's going to get amazing. Grab a pen. Seriously, grab a pen. I'm going to pee. Full queer is a person who forces you. Full queer is a person who forces you to do that. It's a force. That's the opposite. So the Cadillac, it should cost less money with increased technology. That's like once you price everything in gold, then you understand that if you priced it in gold, it'd be deflation because the cost of a Cadillac has actually gone down. Look at how many default blue pill comments there are. Look at how many by default. So the name of this video is called Ladies, Women, and Beta Males, Let's No Longer Be Black Pill. Look at how many blue pill comments there are. Why is blue pill so prevalent? Why is blue pill so prevalent? Blue pill is so prevalent because it's a coping mechanism. It's a way to be default negative. It's a mindset where you're not necessarily trying to lie to people, but you're trying to drag other people down, and you're trying to say, oh, everything's okay, where it's not necessarily even a partial truth. It's just basically no truths that are trying to be an opiate, where, oh, the drug epidemic, it's not so bad, or the money printing, oh, well, the government has to do it. That's blue pill. And that's why certain people of this population, they never think about the Roman Empire because they're not trying to come up with a solution. Here's the impetus for the name of this video, which is Larry, the Atlantic magazine. The Atlantic can go to hell. It's a woke mind virus and a giant piece of propaganda. So here's the thing that is double orange pill, is that you're reliant upon people who are retarded. Because right now, what is real is everyone is default retarded. Meaning everybody is default not trying to win. Everybody is default blue pill. What is the double orange pill? In one sentence, it's relying on the 3 laws of thermodynamics because we now have rules for money. We don't need rulers. Look at when people say generalities that don't have a thought, a thesis behind them. Like when I say money printing, and then people say, oh, US dollar, and then BRICS, BRICS. That isn't even a partial truth. That is a blue pill thought that is not taken to its conclusion. And this is what we're doing here this is what we're doing here. This is the value of this video, which is PI. It's pattern recognition we delegate to thought leadership. It's not where we do the pattern recognition, because when we do the pattern recognition, we get screwed. Why? Because pattern recognition, it's really tough. That's why this video has dropped 109 red pills, because it's pattern recognition. It's pattern recognition that's defendable. What we want to do is we want to do pattern repetition and pattern iteration. For example, Larry, inflation is needed. Larry, for example, some other example that is right out of the 1980s. When we flip it from the 1980s to this guy, who's this guy? This guy is Hecklefish. And what this guy does is he turns a monologue into a dialogue. It's a fish that talks, and look at the top of his hat. It's a tinfoil hat. And the tinfoil hat exemplifies what? Exemplifies, I don't want people scanning my brain to understand what my brain's thinking. That's why you wear a tinfoil hat, is so that way you... Look, he even has a name badge to remind you who he is. When when you put a when you put your when you put aluminum around your brain, you're trying to keep people from scanning your brain. And so when people scan your brain, they know exactly where you're thinking, where you're going. Here's the opportunity with that is that their tinfoil can't protect you because as soon as you talk, people like me can ascertain which direction you're going, which is when you say, oh, Cat Williams and Joe Rogan are homosexual. So what you're doing by doing that is is you're promoting a blue pill falsehood. So this is the opposite of a blue pill falsehood is that we are not living in a simulation, but what we're doing is we're living in a time of compressed algorithms. So this is what people say. It's almost colloquially socially accepted by now, which is we are living in a simulation because you see something and you're like, what? That can't be real. And it is real. And then you're like, for example, billionaires talking like retards over emails. Like, that's real. That's not a simulation. That's not a simulation. Justin, what up? What up? When we see how billionaires email each other, then we're like, oh my God, we're for sure living in a simulation. This is how to take that because that's not a computer simulation. This is what people mean, which only I will walk you through, is we're living through a compression algorithm. So, what is a compression algorithm? That's why physicists who used to die poor and bankrupt and assassinated, that's no longer going to be the case. Why? Because we're tired of that. We're tired of that, and we see the other physicists that get offed. Like, this is why people say, hey, I am happy and healthy, and if somebody suicides me, this is that, like, I'm not going to do that. Where why are people proactively saying it? Because some of the people who are getting self-deleted obviously didn't delete themselves because who orders DoorDash to arrive an hour after? Who does that? Nobody. So what I'm saying here is that we're needing to understand compression algorithms. Let me revisit a compression algorithm, which is hashtag PRPRPI, which is pattern recognition, pattern repetition, pattern iteration. Once you realize that other people have an advantage over you because they're able to process information faster, which is pattern recognition, which is reading and responding to people's incorrect half-baked thesis that are blue pill, which is, oh, inflation's actually okay, and then you say F.A. Hayek, because that's a decompression algorithm of you don't know Keynes versus F.A. Hayek, or that technology, Neil Howe fourth turning, is inherently deflationary. So during a time of hyperinflation, you don't get the pattern recognition that 100% of the time when money dies, 100% of the time when money dies, what happens before that is hyperinflation, where the flight to assets, where in order to protect yourself against inflation, you buy $500,000 worth of postage stamps. Or during a time of hyperinflation, you buy $500,000 worth of U.S. pennies. Where during hyperinflation, you buy Mac Minis. Have you seen the Claude bot where everybody's buying a Mac Mini and then running an AI assistant? Actually, we're not creating the world together as we go. What we're doing is we're having to reassemble it out of the shithole. So the world is not getting created together as we go. The world is being reassembled from the shit pile of shit. Oh my God! Right on topic to this video, which is women, ladies, beta males. Think blue pill, because that's very blue pill. We're not creating the world together as we go right now. This is how do we rescue the dumpster fire called the Roman Empire? Because here's a question. How did the Roman Empire get saved? This video just became the most amazing video. Do you guys know how the Roman Empire got saved? Because the Byzantine Empire was another 500, almost 600 years of the Roman Empire, called the Byzantine Empire. Because the emperor, he had two sons, and he cut the empire in half for the Roman Empire. The Eastern Empire had sound money, and the Western Empire was screwed. This video just became amazing. That's the Byzantine Empire. Is the Roman Empire lasted another 500 years because there was not a civil war. Everybody kept talking about a civil war. Civil war never came. Civil war literally never came. Have you heard when America constantly talks about a civil war? Oh, there's going to be a civil war. There's no civil war coming. Somebody didn't study history. Ditto the history of China, Taiwan. Oh, they're gonna go to war. Retards. The island that would get attacked, that is not Taiwan, that would be Japan. Do you guys know about hashtag Japanese maxing? What is Japanese maxing, Larry? Japanese maxing is funny on 6 levels. Okay, so the name of this video is Let's Duck the Black Pill. This is Double Orange Pill, which is Japanese maxing. Have you seen Oscar Patel? He's got these looks maxing videos. One of the examples is, oh, do you want to look hotter? Put your tongue to the top of your mouth. Now open your mouth. Now smile. What that does is it raises your cheekbone. And then Oscar Patel talks about, hey, check in with where your resting tongue is. Check in. You should totally bring bell bottoms back. I will re-explain from the beginning. I'm going to re-explain from the beginning right here, actually. Oscar Patel, looks maxing, Japanese maxing. That's this video is maxing. So the reason that I bring up Oscar Patel is he brings up 40 examples of before after. And you might think that this is nonsense, but instead of having a one-word response, why don't you put 3 words together, and then I can deal with your one-word cognitive miser. Cognitive, that's your brain. Miser is you're a smart person who's acting retarded. You're a cognitive miser because you have one word. Looks maxing, before and after. In the same way that Mark is getting brain maxed, brain maxing. Japan maxing. Japan maxing's funny on 6 levels. One, it's funny because Major League Baseball is willing to pay a premium on anything Japanese. That's why Japanese maxing. Japanese maxing. All Japan really is a Taiwan. That's Taiwan and Japan. They're basically 98% the same country. Taiwan and Japan. Everybody talks about China invading Taiwan, but that kind of doesn't make sense if you know anything about Chinese shit, which I don't know shit all about Chinese stuff. I just asked some questions, which is, if China invades Taiwan, that would be super similar to a nephew taking over their uncle's house. Like, I get to go to my uncle's house. I get to do whatever I want at my uncle's house. I get to do whatever I want. So why do I want to pay the property tax on it? Like, I get to do whatever I want. I get to drive my uncle's car as long as I, don't do black people stuff with it, right? So, like, I can pretty much do whatever I want. So why would I want to take over my uncle's house? But what if there were a country that were guilty of a dozen invasions and kind of a Holocaust, not like a fake 6 million Holocaust, but like a real 60 million Holocaust? Not even exaggerating, 60 million Holocaust. And what if the country Japan never said sorry? Because why is everybody wondering if China is going to invade Taiwan when China would nuke Japan and be like, I told you so? Which is the I told you so? Have you ever seen a Japanese person go to the USS Arizona and say, fuck you? You can't. It wasn't even war. That's Pearl Harbor. So Japanese people kind of have a history of this stuff. And I'm not saying that this is red pill. This is basically blue pill, which is, am I the only person asking these basic questions, which was, during Pearl Harbor, was that even war? Was that even war? Or is that a terrorist attack? Or does some country kind of do terrorist stuff? That's just by default what happens. What we're doing here is Japanese maxing on 5 levels, which is 1, going to spring training as if we're Japanese, because Chinese, Japanese, it's all the same thing. Like, if you can't get China, Japan, and Taiwan straight, I'm going to benefit from that. 3, Japanese maxing. There's something, it's called the yen carry trade. And when Japanese people have been able to adapt and adopt to hyperinflation by doing some monetary jujitsu, and I use the word jujitsu incredibly specifically. So what we're revealing here is, when you're black pill, you don't want to see what's going on in Japan. When you're black pill, you want to keep your blue pill programming. When you're black, you yearn for a time where you didn't understand what was going on. So, recapping. Oh, there you go. I asked for 3 words. Perfect. Cognitive miser. So, The reason that Japanese maxing is funny on 6 levels of being funny, the reason that Japanese maxing is funny on 6 levels of being funny is why. Is Japan is outside of the 3 countries, Australia, Canada, UK. Do you remember reading history books where Japan was an economic miracle? This dream's about avoiding the black pill. The black pill of, I understand 2 red pill truths, and now I am economically disincentivized to do anything. For example, the Atlantic, it can go to hell. It's a woke mind virus and a giant piece of propaganda. So we're going from that to hey, what's something positive that we can do? What's something positive that we can do? Because remember, the name of this video is called Ladies, Women, and Beta Males. Let's duck and avoid the black pill. Because what is the black pill? It's where you get demoralized and you kind of don't want to do anything anymore. You don't want to open up your dating app. You don't want to go out on Saturday night. You don't want to keep looking for a job. You just get and then you find all these sources of evidence. Oh, Larry, all these jobs that I'm applying for, they're ghost jobs. Oh, goodness. Explain to me what the gray pill is. It feels like you just pulled that out of your butt. So before you pull stuff out of your butt, let's maybe try to figure out the genius things that are coming out of my mouth. But I'm open to what your gray pill is. In fact, I'm going to translate. I want to translate because I remember meeting you. Your gray pill is basically a form of a black pill, where you're saying that your gray hair has caused you where you're saying that the gray pill is where, I just came up with it. So your gray pill is showing that you're a seasoned executive or that you're a mature thinker. Will you expand on your gray pill? Am I correct? So here's the black pill truth about gray pill is that your income streams are going to get violated. Why? Your income streams are going to get violated because pension and Mike Green. Who's Mike Green and why do I mention pension? You see, there are people with gray hair that are living on fixed income. That fixed income only works during non-hyperinflation because there are obligations that are built into the federal system. There are antiquated streams that are called obligations. When you can't meet those obligations as the government, because the government's insolvent, what are you going to do to the people with gray hair? You're going to screw them. How? By printing. Roger has chimed in. This is the gray pill, which is, I'm fine, because this is why gray people who are retired, are pretty fat, dumb, and happy right now. This is why. In France, the people who retired and are collecting a pension, they're getting paid more money than current workers. Those current workers are accepting a bad deal. You combine that with the fact that there are fewer young people in order to pay future pension. Because the way a pension fund works is it's not a fund at all. It's a Ponzi scheme where there's no fund because nobody saved that money. They're hoping for the future generation to pay. I'm not going to say cheers to that, but I will say cheers to that because this is actionable. Let me repeat that. A pension fund has no money. Let me repeat that. The Federal Reserve has nothing in reserve. This is not fight the patriarchy. This is the fact that Caucasian people love to borrow money. That's what Caucasian people love to do. Like you Caucasian people, you love to borrow money. And that's what the government did with a pension fund, which is I'm just going to borrow from future generations. I'm just going to borrow from future generations. And when you're borrowing from future generations, what if the next generation has 40% fewer people? Now the gray pill is you're screwed because unfunded liabilities, it's a liability that's unfunded. Seek first for understanding versus trying to sound smart, because I've promoted your Instacart referral code way better than the person who owns the Instacart referral code. If you guys are thinking about driving Instacart, please use my referral code Roger A2415D. And if you would have taken 13 sentences, double orange pill, which is, hey Larry, how are you making money in this video? I'm making money in this video by promoting my Instacart referral code, Roger A, Roger like Roger Dodger, A like Alpha Male, 2415D as in distribution. So I'm distributing my Instacart referral code. Are you guys interested in driving Instacart? Basically, the address I'm at is 2050 University Avenue. And that address, it actually has 15 drop-off points. So that's an Instacart webpage that needs to happen. Roger, will you make that webpage happen? Which is 2050 University Avenue. It's actually not even on University Avenue. It's going to be confusing AF. Do you see why this is valuable? Because I'm connecting a problem. 2050 University Avenue isn't really even on University Avenue. And it's not even in Palo Alto. It's in East Palo Alto. And it's on the other side of the highway. It's on the wrong side of the highway. Like there are 10 ways to not execute that delivery. This is the orange pill, which is, can you find one problem to solve? Can you find one problem to solve? Orange pill, the double orange pill. All we're doing is getting away from a doom scroll. There's a reason they call shopping for Instacart food also doom scrolling. Have you guys ordered DoorDash food lately? DoorDash set it up where it feels like you're doom scrolling food. It's got all this spam. When was the last time you guys went on Amazon Prime Video? When was the last time you went on Amazon Prime Video? Amazon Prime Video, it feels like a doom. It feels like a scroll of doom. Where one wrong click and you just spent $5 on a rental. The user experience, it's not the best. The advertising experience on OpenAI, it's also not the best. This is being able to sniff out business model within pattern recognition. And to revisit what we're talking about in this video, We're talking about pattern recognition and how pattern recognition, it's kind of a challenge to do. What is pattern recognition? It's trying to figure out, is this orange pill? Is this blue pill? Is this red pill? Oops, I just understood too much. Now I'm black pill. That's pattern recognition. And when you're doing your pattern recognition on your own, you're going to get demoralized in a hurry. Or you're going to do what some of the comments were, which is parroting and regurgitating useful lies. Useful, not even half-truths. Not even half-truths, but let's just call them, to be generous, truths that are half correct. 94303. 94303. 94303. 2050 University Avenue. Money doesn't make you rich, Larry. This is blue pill. This is blue pill. And the reason I don't moderate people's language is being able to let people say whatever they want to say, so that way it's amplified. Because if you don't think that money or monetary instruments make you rich, then you're not understanding the fact that you can be rich, or if you just made $800 on this video. Larry, is this where you sell me something? No. This is where I tell you something genius, and that's this. I'm at the Super Bowl right now. What you can get that's $0 is you can get a free video. You can get a free vacation. You can get a free video. Let's hope this video is free. You can get a free vacation to next year's Los Angeles Super Bowl. Because Roger, I asked you to go to Santa Clara for a free vacation. I asked you that 2 months ago, or maybe a month ago, but definitely more than 2 weeks ago. This is the double orange pill, which is, can you make and be financially better, not just from this knowledge, but can you be $50 better? Let's try to be $600 better. Here you go. Hashtag 55 days of Gemini 3 at LA Super Bowl. Larry, did you say Los Angeles Super Bowl? I did. Because in 2027, the Super Bowl is going to be in Los Angeles. Today, February 7, 2026, you can reserve a hotel for $0, because that's how a hotel reservation works. Is you reserve the hotel for $0, and then you pay them after you leave. Unless your credit's really bad, in which case you still pay them after you check in. That's for if your credit's really bad. How do you benefit from knowing the fact that the Super Bowl's in Los Angeles? If you book a year ahead, the room rates are significantly cheaper. When you know something before somebody else knows something, you financially benefit. Let me repeat that. When you know something before other people know it, you financially benefit. That's PRPI, which is pattern recognition, pattern repetition, pattern iteration. So until you've done it one time, it'll just be a theory to you. And that's not good if it's just a theory, because then you're just going to be a person who just constantly collects knowledge. constant knowledge collection without action is a recipe for being stuck. That's why this is the first hashtag. Why do I even use a hashtag? Because a hashtag is something that is hiding in plain sight. It's a compression algorithm. Because when Chris Messina invented a hashtag, he didn't think, oh, I'm going to invent an exclamation point that I put at the beginning of a word. Because that's how it's being used right now, as an exclamation point before the word starts, where I say hashtag sarcasm. So it's an exclamation point before sarcasm. What a hashtag really is meant to do is it's meant to collect and curate and combine. Collect, curate, and combine. And that's a compression algorithm. Is you're connecting this Super Bowl to next year's Super Bowl. The way to financially benefit is you book 2 hotel rooms and then you unload one of the rooms. That's basically a free vacation because you're benefiting from other people not yet committing, because nobody knows who's going to be in the Super Bowl. Nobody knows who's going to be in the Super Bowl next year. And then ditto Atlanta for the year after that. That's the 53 days of Gemini 3 at Atlanta Super Bowl. Let me repeat that. The 53 days of Gemini 3 at Atlanta Super Bowl. Because today is day number 69 of the 55 days of Gemini 3 at SF Super Bowl. Coincidentally at the Patriots Hotel. Coincidentally. Not coincidence. It's just engineering serendipity. Which is the Santa Clara Marriott. Let's go. Let's go. So all you're doing is you're taking action on a future piece of news, which is 54 days of Gemini 3 at SF's. Let me begin from the beginning. Hashtag 54 days of Gemini 3 at Los Angeles Super Bowl. Pretty. Time to brush you. Black pill, red pill, orange pill, all the pills. Not all the pills. By saying, by saying, by saying you're getting dog hair everywhere. By saying your dog needs a haircut. What you're saying is your dog is competing for financial resources because you're trying to say something negative about the most positive thing in the world, which is a dog. Notice when you say negative things adjacent to a dog, you're understanding that women's brains are default blue pill. This is the vagina whisperer putting his hat on while exposing how to wire your brain if you were to wire your brain optimally. This is why it's called vagina whisperer, because you're saying negative things in the most positive thing ever, which is, wow, Larry, you do such a good job taking care of your YouTube community. Wow, Larry, you do such a good job taking care of our brain. Wow, Larry, you do such a good job taking care of your dog. See, and then this is where you dig deeper. Well, this is where you dig deeper. You should see the fluff monster that just walked by. So this is where you're trying to dig deeper. And this is very normal for you to dig a hole deeper. This is why these videos work. What are we doing in these videos? Every video of my 4,500 videos, it's about a turnaround. What's a turnaround? It's a dumpster fire. Currently, it's shit. Let's polish up shit and let's get slightly better. Let's polish up our brain. Let's polish up our life. Let's try to polish up our turd and get super rich. This is blue pill, which is you're trying to say, hey, Larry, instead of investing resources and time into your dog, why don't you invest those resources into me? This is inherently blue pill. This is why women hate dudes with a dog. Where if you wanted to marry a millionaire, you would say, "Oh my gosh, you take such good care of your dog. Can I help you take care of your dog?" This is why with turnarounds, before, and this is very tribal, very tribe, which is buying things out of bankruptcy. This is why everything with an ism ends in misery and bankruptcy. Why? Because it's engineered to fail. Why? Because after you fail, somebody's going to buy it for 2 cents on the dollar. This is what you don't get, which is, why is this world so shitty right now? It's shitty not because of bad leadership. It's shitty because only bad leaders are allowed to have power. Once you see that the whole system is geared towards disappointment, failure, and mishap, because once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. Why? Because there's a reason that the fire department doesn't have any water to put out your house fire. There's a reason that you're inherently kind of negative towards the most positive thing ever, which is a Shih Tzu. Like, you trying to say negative things about my Shih Tzu is how I can't imagine how you manage your life. This is why, and it's counterintuitive, and it's daily having to weed the garden of our mind. So basically, our brain, it sometimes needs to be weeded. Why? Because weeds grow in places that you do not expect. I caught you, by saying negative stuff. Hey Larry, your dog needs a haircut. Hey Larry, the dog's hair is going everywhere. When you understand that you're trying to cheer a person on who's trying to help you. That's what's going on here. Is you're cheering me on, helping you. But then what do most people, and you are by default pretty positive because one, you've paid really good attention. Two, you've revisited my stream over and over and over. But I caught you being slightly negative, and I caught you not having gratitude, and I caught you being negative. I caught you being a negative Nancy because instead of saying thank you, Larry, for the information, you instead tried to take away 2 points of my 488 IQ points. This is inherently beta male. This is inherently what women do, which is emasculate, but slightly, where you're not trying to increase it 10%, you're trying to decrease it 2%. That's pattern recognition. This is nagging. This is trying to make the situation slightly worse and not slightly better. Where I also caught you with the inflation, and I thank you for your energy and your participation, because I should be saying thank you for your subscription, thank you for your liking, thank you for your commenting. But I don't want your sub, your like, or your comments. I want you to be able to get significantly better, but you're treating this video in the same way that you treat every other video. And that's okay, but that's also not okay. Because what we're doing here is what? Here what we're doing is we're doing something that's never been done before, which is can you financially get better before this video ends? Where don't be impressed at my knowledge about the Weimar Republic, which, by the way, silver and gold, they have not even yet begun their short squeeze. Ditto Bitcoin, because everything when in a land where everything is bullshit, the only real shit are the three laws of thermodynamics, which is immutable. Nick Szabo. He actually has a blog article. He actually has a blog. He actually has a web blog called Immutable. Nick Szabo. Nick Szabo. Nick like Nicholas, Szabo. Szabo. You're very funny. You're very funny. I'm glad we're all on the same page now. And thank you. Because once you can discipline your brain to be skewed positive, you will no longer have a typical female-male relationship. What is a typical female-male relationship? It's one where the woman is a little bit nitpicky and a little bit negative. And then the guy is like, I really don't, and the guy can't quite put his finger on it. Whereas I'm helping locate your secret spot. Do you feel like I've located your secret spot? In fact, that's the next portion of this video. Is you're going to locate the secret spot. And this is the vagina whisperer speaking to you, where you don't have to just be negative by default. You don't have to just be... This is what it is. You don't have to You don't have to let weeds grow in your mind. You don't have to just be undisciplined. And I know it's Saturday, but the difference of our lives is what we do for the next 3 or 4 Saturdays out of 8. The difference in our lives is what we do for the next 3 or 4 Saturdays out of 3 or 4. Like if we have 3 or 4 great Saturdays in a row, then we'll have aced Psycho Saturday. Psycho Saturday. What one thing can you promote or sell? Because convincing another person to take action, that's some of the hardest work that we'll ever attempt to try to do. Let's recap what we've talked about and bring everybody up to speed. So, beta males, women and ladies, they tend to have patterns of thought that are patternistic. And by patternistic, I mean the pattern repeats. And this is why when we talk about humans being creatures of habit, that's what we're talking about. Is do we monitor our habits? And is this James Clear talking about the power of habit, or BJ Fogg talking about micro habits? Because the micro habit that I'm encouraging you to do are the following pills: black pill, red pill, blue pill, orange pill, and double orange pill. And that would be your pattern recognition, where you're not directly saying anything, but you're innuendoing everything because you're trying to be not connective. Plus, the other thing that you're revealing is you have zero money saved, Kyle Hendricks, because if you think that money out equals money in, that's where you're at, is 100% of the money that comes in, 100% of it goes out. Whereas, why can't you spend one 2,000th of what you make? This is also where, what if instead of spending money on dates, a man makes money on a date? Let me repeat that. Where some would consider a guy in a studio apartment pretending to have knowledge pretty beta. And do you see how nothing of that is actionable? Do you see how nothing of that is actionable? Where and incorrect. One, how do you think that this is a studio apartment? Two, some studio apartments are actually super nice and super expensive. 3, where, is this your first video? No, it's not, because you're telling me that, Larry, I've joined you on 65 videos and I've learned nothing ever. That's what you're saying. Because you've been in 60 videos. See, that's where you tighten up your behavior. I work 2 decent paying jobs, sitting on a handsome inheritance. You don't know anything about the people you talk down to. Look at what you said earlier. And then when you're talking about inheritance, you're digging your hole deeper versus, hey, Larry, I've watched 60 videos because one video was valuable. Because when you say talking down to, Basically, you're saying that you're 3 years away from a 4-year degree, not even in engineering. And this isn't talking down, it's accountability, because that's why you like it, because this is the black pill, which is this is the black pill, which is you're trying to swallow the black pill, but once in a while you want to tease a red pill or an orange pill, where you say that I'm talking down, but I'm just merely addressing it. Where if this were a studio apartment, this would be a $6,000 studio apartment because of the location. And I'm not laughing at you. I am laughing at you. I am laughing at you. I'm laughing at you because 3 things. Pattern recognition. Once you say something that's pattern recognition incorrect, that's like playing football and then you're calling the wrong play and you're not processing information. Whereas to stay with the quarterbacking routine, pattern recognition, pattern repetition, pattern iteration. Because Kyle Hendricks, this is your 60th plus Larry Chang video, and you're trying to sell me on the fact that you've never gotten any value from it because you're trying to defend something that was wrong. Whereas just say, look, Larry, I'm sorry that I was slightly negative. Just say, look, Larry, I was sorry I was negative. Okay, have you seen that hilarious diagram where a man and a woman are in a relationship and the woman can never ever say she's sorry? She can never say she was sorry. She can never say she was wrong. And that's why women have a hard time earning money. This is why there's a Caucasian hierarchy where why are the Caucasian men the only people that make significant wealth? 1, we as Caucasian men, we know how to say, oh yeah, I was incorrect about that. 2, we're actually able to say thank you. Look at all these comments, how 0 people have said thank you. There is not a patriarchy. This is the double orange pill, which is there's no patriarchy that's keeping us Caucasian males in control. Because let me read you another very, very black pill comment. The Atlantic magazine can go to hell. It's a woke mind virus and a giant piece of propaganda. So you thinking that politeness is adjacent to political correctness. And look what happens when we try to be politically correct. Look what happens. Pills are very hard to swallow, but they're the best, right? So I just perceive you as a but delusional. Okay, but delusional, I like that. With an inflated sense of self-worth. So when you say a bit delusional, you're not coming up with something specific because you're confusing delusion with body of work, where I'm using my real name with real videos, with real thesis, with real feedback. Whereas your name's not Kyle and your name's not Hendricks. And that's okay, but you're calling me a bit delusional without saying specifically what I said was wrong. Because this video, from a third-party perspective, has anyone ever said to you 3 to 6 red pills is a black pill? Has anyone ever explained to you what 1 orange pill is, which is the 3 laws of thermodynamics? Because the double orange pill is a blue pill. because I don't need to sell you on the fact that I understand the three laws of thermodynamics, because this is true. We can have rules for money, but no rulers. And then the middle thing you said, an inflated sense of self-worth. Interesting. An inflated sense of self-worth. Is that because I have the confidence to deliver 3 hours of YouTube live content to a audience that is discounting and mitigational and and at times combative? This is where you say an inflated self-worth. You're confusing confidence with competence, because when you say inflated sense of self-worth, you're not understanding the fact that in a construct, and there you go, that's your attention span. Which is in a time of fake money, fake news, fake everything, the inshitication of everything. Why are you not saying thank you for accountability and a reprieve, or is this a inflated sense of self-worth because of the massive energy that I put forth? And you misread, because if I could have over 80 people in my studio apartment, that would make me incredibly efficient. That's when you say inflated self-worth, what you're disconnecting from is the massive amount of perfect practice. Because normally this is a practice where it's a practice of delivering information. It's a practice of coming up with a script. Coming up with content. This is a practice of potentially offending beta males, where what do beta males love to do? They love to do page 124, page 136, which is say things that are female adjacent, which you've said, which I've pinned. Oh, that makes so much more sense. That makes so much more sense. Hey, brother, I'm brown. You are, not your. It's YOURE. You're yellow. Get off the white guy stuff. That's what it is. You're angry that I'm Caucasian. That's the thing, Larry. I would be saying thanks, and I do appreciate your contact. I'm here quite often. I don't think putting down the very few viewers you have is productive. Oh, you're giving me knowledge now. Wow, thank you. Did you unmoderate yourself? Oh, I think I unmoderated you. I'm not Brad Pitbull, but Larry, that's cool. Here's me telling you something as a brown person, because who understands brown people, and thank you for admitting the fact that you're Pakistani. Thank you for admitting that, because the way that you're pretending to be Caucasian is not very accurate. Because the way that you pretend to be a Caucasian is you are a brown person, self-admittedly, pretending to be Caucasian but you're just brown. You're just shit. Your shit's leaking out everywhere. Do you shit into a toilet, or do you just shit haphazardly? This is why. I encompass this a lot with Indian and Pakistani people, which is why I'm the whisperer. This is HR, human resources, which is don't be jealous of the Caucasian dude with the Caucasian dog who's a Shih Tzu. Because the most Caucasian thing you can do is to own a Shih Tzu because I'm a white guy owning a Chinese dog. And I didn't know that you have a dream to live in a studio apartment because currently you live in a family hellhole. Tell me about your family hellhole. Tell me about your family hellhole. Because let's get you into a one bedroom. And then you can have sex with one Caucasian girl because I know you don't have sex with Caucasian girls. I know that you don't. I know that you've never had that before. So in the next 5 videos, let's not full sex intercourse because I'm Christian. Let's pray real quick. Father Lord, please introduce Jesus to all these brown people who absolutely have no idea who Jesus is. And when I say sex, Jesus, I mean being able to kiss and get to second base versus no bases, no hope, which is the black pill, which is sad. Father Lord, also be with people as this might be their first prayer because they're living in a situation where shitting where they eat is actually a upgrade because some of these brown people, Lord, they're actually shitting into a river and then drinking the river water. Father Lord, thank you for the brains that I was given because I really do appreciate being smart. But Father Lord, also please bless people with a blessing which only Christianity provides, which is this is just free shit that you can get. That's why it's called a blessing. Like Jesus dying on the cross, you did not earn that. You did not earn that. All you need to do is just say thank you. Thank you, Lord, for dying on the cross so that way we get salvation. If, Lord, people have never prayed before, this will be the first. Father, Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for my health. Thank you for this time to be able to share. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. So you can say I'm wrong about everything I say, or you can tell me one thing I'm wrong with. Hey, Larry. I went to the zoo. The zoo didn't even have a panda. This is why your zoo doesn't have a panda. Your panda doesn't have a zoo. Your zoo doesn't have a panda because I can't tell you how many times people are like, "Hey, Larry, you have a Chinese last name. Why don't pandas have sex? Why don't pandas have sex? Why don't have pandas have sex? We put a hot panda in a cage with another panda, and they didn't have sex. Why do the pandas not have sex? Pandas are smart enough to realize that if they have sex, they're going to have a baby panda. And that baby panda is going to be in prison. It's called a zoo. That's why the panda isn't horny. That's why the panda does what the panda does in captivity. Look at the humans in captivity, and look at their behavior in prison. Look at their behavior in prison. And once you understand about captivity, you understand everything about everything. It's basically it's basically it's basically why black people happily have prison sex, because that's where they're happiest, in prison. And once you understand that they'll do anything to go back to prison, because prison sex is the thing that made them the happiest. And then some of these awful lawyers, affluent white female urban liberals, they're like, no, don't go to prison, don't have prison sex. Then the people are like, I'm going to keep killing people until you let me go back to prison because I love prison sex. Bring back the death penalty. Bring back the death penalty. Red pill, red pill, red pill, red pill alert, red pill alert. Here's the problem. Here's the problem is that when you have sex outside of marriage, the woman can like have sex with 7 dudes a day, whereas the guy can have sex with 7 women a year, and and nothing good happens. Nothing good happens. Nothing good happens. Nothing good happens. But 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 there's a book for this. It's called Susan Page. Forgive how the one of you can bring the two of you together. Susan Page, you're welcome. And I've got another Barbara D'Angelis book for you. It's called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And all this female empowerment has kind of revealed female behavior. Oh, another puppy. All this has revealed more female behavior. Ooh, it's about time for a mint mojito. It's about time for a mint mojito. Who's in the mood for a mint mojito? On today's on today's on today's on today's live stream? Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to see his face? The second half of this video, oh, this mint mojito is going to be amazing. It's not an alcoholic mint mojito. It's like a coffee drink. You want some more water?
Hi, Tom. Hi, buddy. How are you?
Hey, Tom Brady. Tom Brady. I brought.
Two of your biggest fans. Is it Lhasa Apso?
Yeah, he's a Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu, yeah.
Same thing.
Puppy. You rent office space here?
Might as well.
The corner, you gotta grab your pocket.
Might as well, right? Get it? Get it? He's rewired. He's rewired to be, he's blonde on the outside and Chinese on the inside. How do you look younger now? How do you look younger?
How old is Tom?
He's ageless. So we're at the Minneapolis Super Bowl, okay? And Gotham Chopra, the guy who did the documentary. He's like, oh, ageless by the time it's mine. Like, and I'm like, do you realize that this movie is just your dad's book? He's like, what? I'm like, this movie, Tom versus Time, is basically your dad's book.
He went to Belmont. You were the Barnacles. Yes. You went to high school.
Gotham did?
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
You know the Barnacles kids did. Yeah, the Barnacles was
Because he also did the Kobe Bryant documentary News.
You live out here? You live
I split time between here and Texas. Yeah. But that's where I met Tom Brady. Yeah. His dad hit his grounders.
what?
Hit his grounders. Like, I'm wondering if, because he did an interview in a condo that he rented, but I'm wondering if he fake rented the condo, staying in the Four Seasons as Tom Brady, while also living in his parents' house. Because that would be very great.
You see what he did last? He backtracked on his rooting for Kraft to get his 7th ring. After 2 days ago, he said, I have a dog in the hunt. I don't care who wins the game. And all of his old teammates were like, are you kidding me?
He's joking.
He wasn't serious. He wasn't. And then last night he was with Kraft with Michael Rubin from Fanatics, and he said, he goes, I want Crafty to get his 7th ring so we can match.
Right. See, the way that Brady talks now, he's trying to make everybody so happy. And like, he just needs to embrace his bad boy self. Because he'll do every hairstyle except for this hairstyle. He'll do every hairstyle because the PQRST thing that he said on the Buccaneers, like taking mask off before mask class, he became hearing something and running with it. So I'm telling him, just be your bad self, just unretire, you be jerk.
It's almost 50.
He's making so much money. He doesn't make that money. He's gonna get bored. He's gonna get bored with the 2 mil, and he's gonna be like, you know what?
I think he could end up being one of the majority owners of the Raiders at some point. I think he could.
But I see him as quarterback in the Tennessee Titans in the Super Bowl against the Raiders, and then people be like, oh, and then some Raiders guy will just like 2-game touch over, not tackle.
Like Bill Rivers.
Oh yeah, and then that senior citizen. Being able to do a turnaround, being able to here's what it is. Taking things that exist and seeing them for a better version of what they could be. Taking things that are chaotic or neutral and turning them into slightly better than when you initially found them. Here's what it is. being able to do Web 5, which is Web 3, Web 4, Web 5. What is Web 5? It's realizing that you can API into anything, meaning you can application protocol interface into anything. Web 5, which is Satoshi Nakamoto shouldn't intimidate you, which it does intimidate you. Look what happened. But what Satoshi Nakamoto is your username, where one, your username is you as a brown person pretending to be white, pretending to be brown, or you can't hide the fact that you are brown. Satoshi Nakamoto, Web 5, with being able to affect U.S. laws for adhering to the Constitution when you yourself are using a pseudonymous username, where we're not doing a username reset where we're always picking a new name. We're always trying to press the reset button, where we're always swallowing one new black pill in order to try to reset what we're doing. Where there are no resets, we need to make the best of what our current situation is. And what is your current situation? Which is, one, the government's run by people that are questionable in morality. Two, the interest of the government isn't to keep you healthy or happy. Your government's actively trying to kill you. Red pill. Once you see, hey, if they can lie to you about the vaccine or lie to you about how the economy is organized, they're going to do whatever it takes to stay in power as a cabal, as a control-oriented system where the rules are constantly in flux and the exchange of information occurs like this. This revolution, it will have Wi-Fi. What revolution are we talking about? I'm talking about the storm of storms, the perfect storm, which is this Roman Empire collapse, it will have Wi-Fi. Why? Because Web 5 is not stoppable, where node to node decentralized money is also node to node decentralized people talking. There's something at YouTube and the world, it's called the Overton window. The Overton window is a window of what's allowed and what is not allowed. The fact that my channel's never been banned but only suppressed is a testament to your ability to subscribe and share information peer-to-peer. That's what Web 2 is. It's peer-to-peer social media, where what happened to social media that turned it into a doom scroll? It turned into a doom scroll because the attention required was attention-seeking behavior, aka brain rot. What culminates in this is that this Roman Empire, it's going to be broadcast. And it may not be broadcast on Wi-Fi, but this is why peer-to-peer information exchange, you can't stop, you won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop, Chang stop. By realizing that the citizens have the power, some people talk about the pattern recognition as the great noticing, where we iterate to, oh my God, I didn't know I had as much power as I had. Because what is the black pill? The black pill is where you say, "Oh my God, we can't vote our way out of this." Because when you see that voting is a distraction, that politics is just the uniparty. There's one giant party and you're just not in it, even though we're adjacent to it. So when you say that's why they're pushing the carnivore diet, it's the opposite of the carnivore diet. This diet has no meat in it. It's the crickets diet. It's the fake food, fake protein, fake meat. And that's chapter 8 of Safedin Amu's book, The Fiat Standard. There's a new word, it occurred last year. It's called the in-shitification. It's putting basically everything into shit, in-shitification. And that's via the food, which is why when we go out to eat at restaurants, it kind of all tastes like blah. It all tastes like blah. It all tastes like it's fake. It all tastes like it's fake. It all tastes like it's fake. That's chapter 8, and then there's of the Fiat Standard. And then the Fiat Standard spawned a brand new book, and that book was actually called the Fiat Standard, or Fiat Food. Fiat food is fake food, because when the money is printed unlimitedly, you're going to need to hide the debasement of value by giving people more food, but it's fake, which is kind of why it tastes like mush. That's this video, which is the black pill truths within our construct. That's the black pill truths within, hey, Larry, you sure seem to keep people accountable. Why? Because this channel is not just going to be on, oh, I'm going to just give you bad news in an entertaining way that's not actionable. The actionable component of today being Psycho Saturday is, can you adapt and learn one new thing and then sell one new thing? I give you consent to take this content and turn it into a book or a PDF that you sell. It's been terrific hanging out with you. It's been terrific hanging